Hello everyone. Are you ready for another fabulous Friday idea? I am so excited to share this with you. I am using the Zoo Crew Designer Series paper. Again, I'm using the black and white side, and I'm going to focus on this piece. I just love it. I'm going to use this because I just love this flower, and I'm going with a black and white idea with a pop of color. I did this either last week or earlier. Yeah, it was last week or earlier this week. I don't remember which. My weeks are all running together. So I'm going to use that one. I just love that paper. All right, for the card today, here are the supplies I'm using. I'm using Sending Smiles, and the only thing I'm using out of it is this image, and not that one, this image. And I'm not really doing the whole image there. What I'm going to do is, well, I might try off stamping. I'm going to try a couple of different things because I want to die cut it, and we'll see how it works out. I'm using the splatters again from Quiet Meadow. Those are going to be my go-to splatters, I guess. From the Sending dies, I'm using the stem and the flower head. From the Scallop Contours dies, I'm using the scallop, and I'm using this die. I love this die. It cuts a piece in there that you can thread your ribbon through. I've done it before. It really looks cute. All right, I'm going to use Tuxedo Black ink, Daffodil ink, and a daffodil marker. I'm going to use some of the black and white checked ribbon. I have some of these. I think I got them out of a paper pumpkin. I'm not real positive. They're like silver sequins that I'm going to use. And for the card, you are going to need a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of white, a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of black, a 3 3/4 by 3 1/4 piece of DSP. Now, the key here is the 3 3/4 has to go this way, and the 3 1/4 is this way. There's not a whole lot of difference, but it will be. So just make sure if you have a direction in your paper, that you make that, put the direction going the way you want and make that 3 3/4. I have a piece of daffodil that's 3/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have a scrap of Granny Apple Green and a couple of scraps of white for my stamping and die cutting. Take your picture and craft along with me. All right, I'm going to start by getting rid of all of this. All right, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. All right, first thing I'm going to do, this piece is going to cut out my scallop contour die. This piece is going to cut out the scallop. This piece is going to cut out the stem, but I need to deal with this first. So I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work. I need to get a scrap piece of paper, and I had a ton yesterday and cleaned up. All right, let's try this. I've got one here, only because I'm going to be doing some off stamping. I want to be able to cut this out, but when you cut this out of just white for the daisy, you can't see it. So I'm going to try and see how far down I can go. You can't see it. So I can use a second generation stamping, and I get just a little bit of yellow. I don't want it real bold. And then I'm going to stamp the inside with full strength yellow. So there's that. Now, I'm ready to do all my die cutting. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back. Okay, here are all my pieces. And now we can put our card together. And I had said I was going to use those dots. I'm not positive I'm going to. I have an idea, but I'm not certain. So let's see about getting our card put together. All right. This card is going to be done in landscape. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of black, and this is going to, I just realized my yellow is going to be too long. And I'm going to add it with some glue. Okay. So just evenly space it. All right. This piece is next, and I've got to cut it. It needs to be 5 1/4, not 5 1/2. And this is going to go on here, but this is where I think I'm going to use the dots, even though I said I didn't think I was going to. I don't need it. I forgot that my panel was black. So I'm going to try some tone on tone dots, and we'll see how it looks. If I don't like it, I can flip it over. All right, got my dots. Now, this is going to get added to here. Nope, sorry. This goes on first, and I've already messed it up. Let me see if I can get this off. No, I can still save it. I can save it. I know how to do it instead. I should have put this on, and then the ribbon, but I'm just going to attach the ribbon to this since I messed up. All right, now this is going to go on like so. So let me glue that down. All right. There. Okay, now the ribbon goes next, but I've got to put on, or that strip goes next, but I want to put on my ribbon because I've messed it up the first time. So we'll just do it this way. And I'm going to use my double-sided tape because it's a ribbon, and I want to make sure it stays in place. Oops, wrong side. Good thing I noticed those dots. Now, I'm not worried that that's longer because I'll just fold it back on itself. All right. And this is what I'll do. I just pick it up and I fold it back. No sense wasting it. Just fold it back. It can use the extra sticky power. All right, so there's that. Now, I'm going to take and I'm going to add my ribbon to my front. And you know what? I never got a sentiment for here. Okay, I will be looking for a sentiment real quick. But let me get this part done and we'll go from there. I'll find a sentiment because that's the next step. I'm gonna add another piece of double-sided tape over top to sandwich that ribbon in place. And I don't need a I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So now I can stick this on, and this is going to go up here. I kind of like those dots. Glad I decided to do it. Always a way to pivot. All right, let me find a sentiment for my piece. Okay, I went to a standby, Biggest Wish, hello. So I will use that one, and I'm going to stamp it in Memento. I want to make sure it's good and solid. All right. I got to make sure I stamp it straight. I don't know if it's straight. We'll see. I thought it was, but yeah, I think it is. I'm going to give it a few minutes for the ink to transfer. Ah, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. grab my dimensionals. I'm going to be very careful when I do this because the hello may not be dry all the way. So I'll pick it up and flip it. Okay. There's that one, that one, that one. And I am going to put one in the middle. It's not real, I don't know. There's a lot of dimensionals on there, but I would rather have too many than not enough. So now I'm going to take my backs off. Okay. Daisies are my favorite flower, and I hadn't played with this set in quite a while. So I decided to pull it out. All right. So then this goes on like right about there. Okay. Like so. I could have pulled that down a little bit, but that's okay. This piece goes on next, and this piece, but I think I'm going to put this one on first, so I make sure I have it within the card base so it doesn't stick out of my envelope. Okay, which is the right side? This is the wrong side. All right. Will that one fit in there? Yes, just barely. All right, let me get some strips here. I'll put a strip at the top and a strip at the bottom to hold it in place. Okay. I have to just be careful to watch that because it curves. Because I'm putting it on the card base and I don't want it to, the dimensional to show. All right, let's get my backs off, and I'm going to take them off of everything. Come on. There we go. Hold your image very carefully, or your die cut very carefully when you're doing this, because you can very easily rip off pieces. All right, there's that. And I find with the strips, I just have to get the end to poke up. All right, so this piece is going to go on first, and I'm going to put it on there. And then this piece goes on next. Ooh, it stuck to me. And I'm going to shove that tip up underneath and add that like so. All right, and the last thing I need is a bow. So I'm going to tie my bow, and it's going to be a very tiny bow because I want to put it on the side. Well, for some reason I can't. There we go. Every time I tried to do that, I didn't hold the other piece down. All right, I'm going to go a little tinier. There we go. Ooh, nice tiny bow. All right, I'm going to do my ends, and then I'm going to take my glue dots, and I'm looking at my, okay, this side looks better, so that's going to be my front. I'm going to put a glue dot on one side of the knot and a glue dot on the other side of the knot, and I'm going to put that knot right there. And there's today's oh, nope, not yet. Got to do my gems. There are different sizes here, so I will use the different sizes. See, isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. That one's upside down. There it goes. And I think I'll do a small one. All right, these I don't need, So I'm going to put them back in my container. I'm going to use my pickup tool here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the sequin, add a dot of glue, put it back down. All right, pick up my sequin, dot of glue, put it back down. I don't want too much that it's going to ooze out. Just pick up the sequin, dot of glue, and back down. Okay, I'm going to make sure those are down. You don't want to get glue on your sequin either, because then it won't, it'll be not blurry, but it'll have a film on it. All right, I'm going to move that one out some. Okay. So watch it. If you have to, use your pokey tool to get it in place. And I'm going to wipe that off with my finger. And now our card is complete. And I use the flower and the stem to stamp the inside. I stamped this one first. It was too light. You couldn't see the flower. So I just went full strength for both of them. But I offset that center a little bit so it would show up. You could always take your black pen and go around it and color it in. I hope I've inspired you with today's idea. I appreciate your watching. Make sure you have clicked that subscribe button below. I'm working my way up slowly to 600 so that I can increase my views on YouTube. It helps if you like my video and share my video, because then YouTube sees it as the content is important and will continue to show it to others. So please do that to help me out. I would so appreciate it. I hope you have a fabulous Friday. Bye.